Hey guys, this is in. So I am gonna go ahead and start City Skylines. Sorry, there's an echo in the audio. There you go, much better. Yeah. So trying something different here. Got a camera, a light, a green screen background, and we're gonna stream City Skylines live, obviously. So let's go ahead and load the game. So we are going to load a game. It'll be the first one you see there. As you can see, it's got trophies enabled, so there are no cheats. It's got a population of 413,000 with a bank account of 23 million. So let's load that game. The city has just finished getting out of the death wave. So when I load the game, you're going to see there's still going to be a lot of little issues here and there in the city, but for the most part, the city is recovering. I should probably go ahead and update the thumbnail in YouTube here. Let's see. So there's our city of 413,000 inhabitants. Now, like I said, the city is still in the process of recovering from a death wave, so we're gonna let it do that. And while it's doing that, I am gonna go ahead and update our YouTube thumbnail. Let's check out our traffic here. Traffic is flowing very nicely at 86%. I'm just trying to update the YouTube thumbnail here. We'll go monitor the international airport for the moment. I'm still updating the YouTube description, YouTube title, YouTube thumbnail. Sorry, that's taking a little bit of time. But if you just joined us, this is a city of 415,000, as you can see. No cheats or mods of any kind. This is just plain old fun in the PS4 Pro. Let's go ahead and help clean up the city a little bit. Let's demolish some of these abandoned buildings. So our city is growing at a rate of 1,100 people per week. Our bank account took a hit just now. It was in the positive, but now we're a little bit in the negative there. But that's okay. We've got 23 million in the bank, so we're really 30 set for a little while. Helping demolish some of these abandoned buildings. Yeah, so this city has been pretty interesting to build because the last death wave actually lasted for 10 hours. I kid you not. I left my PlayStation running and I believe it lasted for about 8 to 10 hours. It was pretty crazy. I guess when you have a population this big, it takes a very long time to recover from a death wave. So if you just joined us, we've got a city here of 416,000 and rising. We just survived a death wave, so just helping the computer here by clearing out some of the abandoned buildings. And if you have any questions of as far as how we got the city as big as we have it, feel free to type any questions or comments in the chat. I recently started playing this game on the Nintendo Switch. Right now this is on the PS4. PS4 Pro. So you can see our population is still rising, and now it's 417,000. This is probably the largest town I have ever seen somebody in YouTube broadcast as far as playing on the console, whether it's Xbox or PS4. I have personally never seen anyone else build a city this big. Again, this city was built without any cheats or mods. This is on the PS4. Trophies are enabled, so definitely we have no cheats or mods here. Oh, that's starting to get cleared up. Alright, well that's looking a little bit better. Looks like we got one cemetery two cemeteries that finished emptying. Perfect. So again, my name is Sin, and I'm broadcasting live from the Philippines. City Skylines is definitely one of my favorite games, and I like to play it quite regularly, at least a few times a week. I am, however, thinking of playing Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu on the Nintendo Switch, and just thinking of broadcasting that live as well as I play that game. So yeah, if you're interested in Pokemon, definitely hit that subscribe button. I could use more subscribers in my channel for sure. Let's see here. The original goal for creating this city, I believe, was to reach a population of 200,000, reach a population of 250, 300, 350, then 400, and now we're fast approaching to 418. And we're still maintaining a spectacular average traffic flow of 86%, which is really quite amazing for a city of this size. So this is our city of 418,000 and rising. Again, we built this city with no cheats or mods on the PS4 Pro. And it's been a labor of love for the last 5 days amongst myself and a few fellow YouTube viewers. Just recovered from a death wave, so our economy is still on the verge of recovery. Population is now 419,000, and we're still growing 1,000 people every week, which is pretty amazing. Let's check out the other amazing thing, which is we have an average traffic flow of 87%. That is 87% for a city of this size, 419,000 and rising. That is a spectacular average traffic flow. What's more amazing is that we have such an amazing traffic flow, and we've only used two-lane roads throughout this entire game. That's right, we didn't use 4-lane or 6-lane roads, only 2-lane roads. So don't think that you have to upgrade your roads to 4 lanes or 6 lanes in order to achieve a really good, a spectacularly good average traffic flow, which again for a city of 420,000 we have an average traffic flow of 86%. That is amazing, super amazing actually. Yeah, so let me know if you guys have any questions or comments. This might be the last time I'm gonna, not last time, but I'm gonna take a little break from building this city. We've been building this city for the last 5 days now. I am either going to start another city on my Nintendo Switch, or play Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu on my Nintendo Switch. And of course I'm going to broadcast that live as well, so you guys can join the fun. I'm like basically done building this city. We've built it out so much, there's not really any more space to build anything. So let's do a quick aerial tour of the city. As you can see, it is ginormous. It is a city that is 9 tile or 9 area tiles. On the PS4, you can only buy 9 tiles. So the residential area here, where you see all this green stuff, right? That is spanning the length of this residential area, and it's just one continuous residential area. It is 3 tiles in length. That's right, 3 area tiles in length. That is a very, very huge residential area. In fact, I would guesstimate that probably like 300,000 of my population is residing in that block of residential zone. Another amazing thing about the way we built the city is that that residential zone is not connected by road, at least by car, to any highway. It is essentially a self-sustained or self-contained residential zone. So if you look at my average traffic flow, it is 87% right now. Again, that is phenomenal for a city of 421,000 people. Again, look at the residential zone. Look at the roads. It is all green. No traffic. It's because cars can't get in or get out of the residential zone. It is completely enclosed. So how do people get in and out of the residential zone? Well, they ride the subway, or they walk through one of the many paths that we provided, so they can hop over to the commercial district by walking, biking, taking the subway, and even by cable cars. Yeah, we actually built some cable cars here. Now on to our original commercial zone. And again, we are recovering from death waves, so you're gonna have to excuse the city as it tries to recover. This was the very first airport that we built, where you can see we've also flapped down some of the unique buildings. That way we can spur the development of more commercial growth. And if we go straight ahead to Old Town is completely factory. It was originally the only factory zone in the game, but as the game got bigger, we've expanded over here, which is what we call the west side. And the west side is actually the heart and soul of our commercial district. It is a very, very large area. I believe it is 2 tiles large. On the left side here is they're all commercial zones. On the right side, it's all office zones. And as you can see, you probably didn't notice it at first, but we do have an international airport kind of hidden within the city. It is so hidden that depending on where you're looking at, you may not even notice there's an airport there. So from this angle, looking at the city, you won't even really notice that there's an international airport hidden within these city blocks. It's pretty crazy, right? Above the hill, we've got more commercial zones peeking at this spire here. But actually, we built some new residential zones on top of the hill, and they seem to be a little bit taller than the spire now, I guess depending on your point of view. So these are all residential zones, believe it or not. These high-rise buildings are all residential buildings. Pretty amazing. And you know what else? There's a hidden secret, a hidden gem on top of this hill. You know what it is? It's a cargo train station. That's right. We embedded a cargo train station right on top of the hill, which is pretty cool because you can't see it at any other angle unless you're looking straight down, because the high-rise buildings are covering that cargo train. And look at that. So now our population is 423,000. It is still rising. Next, we develop what we affectionately call the Little Asia district, where we initially started with primarily factories and office buildings, and then later on added some commercial zones here and some unique buildings. Next to Little Asia, we have more commercial districts, commercial zones, but this is also where we're housing the Project Eden monument, which, in case you don't know, is what makes every single tile in your city high value. We also have the Hadron Collider right next to it, which provides free education to all of your citizens, so you don't even need to have elementary school, high school, or colleges anymore. You can demolish them if you have them. And next to that, we have some residential zones as well as office zones. And right next to the office zones are more factories and farms. And next to those farms are high-density housing of the European style. The high-rise building that you're seeing are the American style. This is in fact the original map that we started with, which is divided by a river, which we actually never connected throughout this entire game. So we started out with a tile that was kind of being spliced in half by a river, and we never bothered to connect them. And each half kind of just developed independently of each other, and everything worked out just fine. You can see the number of waste management stuff we have here. There's our water intake, and there's our dirty water output. Now you know, for a city of 425,000 people, how many do we have now? Yep, 425,000. You will need that many water pumps and waste treatment plants to deal with, well, to deal with all the waste. Water treatment plant. So we're still recovering from a death wave. Let's check out our population. Our average traffic flow is currently at an amazing 87%. If you're interested in knowing... Hey Luke, how's it going, man? Oh, sorry, I just now noticed your chat there. Here I am blabbing away. It says, how long do you make the roads before intersection? Oh, east zone type. So the way I did my roads for this particular map is each city block is 1,200 construction costs. So if you've got the 2-lane road selected and you draw a line, it should be, well, I guess 1,400. So I guess I must be varying between 1,200 and 1,600. But generally I try to stick around 1,200 if I can. I mean, I don't really think I was more uniform on those city sizes in the residential zone, as you can tell. They might very well be all 1,400. But some of these city blocks, I think I turned to 1,200. But for me, that the length is not so much as important as the width. So I think 90 or 95% of the city, where each city block has a width of either 600. I think a lot of it in the residential are 600. Or, yep, 600. For the commercial zone and industrial zone, I guess sometimes they're either 600. This one here is a little bit more compact, so I guess we were trying to save some space here. This one is, looks like it's 480. And so I know I didn't really made use of all the available land space, because if you look from above, there is an awful lot of green space in each city block, and I did that on purpose because I like seeing greens. So the problem is if you build stuff so closely, you basically don't even see the ground anymore, and that is one thing that I tried to do a better job in this game, is that I spaced out the city blocks so that you can see the ground in between the streets. You can see that very clearly in the commercial zone here, as well as check out this our commercial zone here and our office zone, and check it out from above. There is so much green space. I personally think it makes the city more beautiful. I didn't set out to try to create a city that can hold 400,000 people. I think now we have 427, so it's still rising. So now we have a 427,000 population city here. Our average traffic flow is 86%, so again, that's pretty good. Are you on Luke? Are you playing on the PS4 again or PC? Because I've been told on the PC you can have much larger maps. Sadly, on the PS4 I can only buy 9 tiles. I wanted to actually see if I can reproduce this city in the Nintendo Switch to see if the Nintendo Switch has enough processing power to handle a city this size. So Xbox also has the same 9 tile limitation. So there's no mod that you can download on the Xbox to lift that restriction. There's such a huge demand for industrial or office zone, but I really have I don't have any more space to continue building. So at this point, I'll just be happy if the city reaches 430,000 people, and maybe that's just going to be the end of the population growth for the city, because there is no more space to build. I mean, unless I start terraforming the river here, which I'd rather not do. Just do a flyby of the city one more time. It's been a labor of love for the last 5 days. And the only reason I played this game as much as I did in the last 5 days is because I created a brand new PSN profile, so I lost, all the achievements and all the buildings and unique buildings that I've unlocked have become, once again inaccessible to me. And I didn't actually manage to unlock all the unique buildings in this playthrough. Mainly because, one, I wasn't that interested in unlocking all of them. Same goes for the monuments. I only unlock the specific monuments that I'm interested in. But maybe on the second playthrough I'll unlock all the unique buildings and all the monuments. Well, that just goes to show that you don't need to unlock all the monuments to create a city this big. Well, before I end the broadcast, I'm going to go ahead and share some of the tips that we learned by building this city in the last 5 days. One is segregate your residential zone so that it is a self-contained island, meaning don't build a direct road connection between the residential zones and, say, your commercial or your factories, your industrial zone. Build lots and lots of walking paths, as well as entry point and exit points to the highway, to the freeway. Again, don't do that on don't connect the highway to your residential zone. So you can see we have a lot of entry points, especially on the main road here. I mean, just look at how much entry and exit point we have. Also provide direct connection to parts of your city so that if a truck or a vehicle needs to get, say, from your factory to your commercial zone, they don't have to go to the freeway or highway to get there. Just provide a direct link. What do I mean by that? Look at this road. This road crosses over the highway, and this goes directly to this part of the city. That will minimize congestion in your highway. Beware in building the Project Eden monument, because as soon as you flop it down, lots of good things and bad things will start to happen, because every single tile will become valuable, and so you're going to have a lot of abandoned buildings, because, at least initially, because your city needs to catch up and reprocess the land value of your entire map. So let's check out our population now. Our population is now 429,000 people and still rising. Let's see if we're about to enter a death wave. Not quite yet. We're still, our birth rate is still higher than our death rate. So let's continue with a city tour. I bet if I optimized the spacing of this map and didn't leave so much green space, we probably could have very easily fit 400 or not 400, 500,000 people in this map. But as it stands, I don't know if we can reach 500,000 at this point because we're basically out of space. So 5 days of labor and 430,000 people later, here we are, Sin City. So there's no mod on the Xbox to increase the number of tiles you can purchase. That's too bad. I wonder if it's just a processing limitation of the Xbox and PS4. Actually, I think even on the PC, the default is only 9 tiles. I think somebody said you have to get a mod to get it up to 25, I think is what they said. Let's see if there's a stadium, there's a game in the stadium. Well, guess not today. Yeah, so this is the largest city I've ever built. Actually learned a lot from building this city. Me and Energetic Force probably spent 20 hours together building this city, and altogether I probably spent 40 or 50 hours building this city, to tell you the truth. And the vast majority of it is waiting for the death wave to basically stop, to get out of the death wave. The last death wave that happened, it literally took all night long. I left my PS4 running, and I think it took either 6 or 8 hours for the city to finally emerge out of the death wave, just because the population is so huge. It just takes so long to get out of the death wave. It's pretty insane. So I think the next time I start a new game and build a city, I'm going to build it in a much faster pace, so that I don't encounter so many death waves throughout the life of the city. So for a city of 431,000 people, we actually only built 3 cargo train stations. And I believe also maybe 3 train station, the normal people train station. Again, it just goes to show you that you don't need so many cargo trains or a normal train to have such a large city. Also, if you're starting out with a tile where it's divided by some sort of body of water, you don't have to connect them unless you really want to. We purposely left the 2 halves separated because the moment we try to bridge the distance here, the river, by connecting the left and the right side with the bridge, traffic just becomes insanely horrible. So by keeping them separate, traffic actually remains at a pretty good rate. Our traffic right now is 87%. So again, for a city of 431,000, 88%. It just went up. It's pretty amazing that we can maintain a traffic flow of 88%. I mean, when was the last time you built a city that is remotely this size that has such an incredibly good average traffic flow? Again, as you guys scour through YouTube and watch other City Skyline players play, let me know if anybody's ever built a city that's larger than this on their Xbox or PS4, because I have watched a lot of YouTubers in the last 3 months, and the vast majority of them are actually on the PC, and I haven't really seen anybody build a really large city like this on the PS4 or the Xbox. Well, I didn't want to change my PSN password because my daughter is playing my account in the US. So I just, and she's only like 6 years old. So I just wanted to make sure to just leave everything as is on the PlayStation Pro that I left behind for her. So I just did what I thought would be easier for her but harder for me, and that is just create a brand new profile and just, you know, lose all of my save games and trophies for all the games that I've been playing for the last... When did the PS4 come out? Is it 2014 or 2015? I don't remember. So that means I gotta play Horizon Zero Dawn again and get the epic armor again. Alright, man. Well, let me know if you have any other questions. I think, you know, my original goal of reaching 400,000 people, we've far exceeded that. We're 432,000 now and still rising. Look at the average traffic flow. It is now at 89%. We have 432,000 people and our traffic flow is 89%. That is just like so incredibly amazing. That is just crazy. The city is still recovering from a death wave, but it looks like it might be entering a death wave again pretty soon. Yeah, I'm probably going to end the broadcast pretty soon. We'll end it on a high note. 432,000 people at a traffic flow of 89%. Getting an aerial view one last time. Also, this is my first time streaming using, what's that called? OBS Stream Studio. So I'm actually not using the PlayStation built-in streamer. I'm using a video capture card connected to my MacBook Pro with a webcam that's also with actually a digital SLR connected to my MacBook Pro as well, using an Elgato Cam Link. Behind me is a green screen, and in front of me is a studio light. So trying to improve the quality of the streaming here for you guys. And I think this is also the first time I've ever streamed where you can actually see my face. I haven't shaved. I don't even think I've washed my face since I woke up to this morning. So this is me. This is what I look like when I have just gotten up and haven't washed my face. Anyway, this is Sin. Hey, I want to thank you guys for tuning in for the last 5 days. I know you've been there also several times, Luke. I appreciate you keep tuning in, buddy. I'm going to continue to stream more games online. I'm going to try out Twitch as well. But I think I primarily like YouTube right now, but maybe I'll transition to Twitch over time, or maybe just simultaneously broadcast to both platforms. I'm not sure yet. I'm still trying to figure out what I want to do. Anyway, this is Sin. I hope you guys have enjoyed the live stream that we've been doing for the last 5 days, building probably one of the largest cities out there that you can find in YouTube that people have built on the PS4 or Xbox. Again, this is without any cheats or any mods, and it took us 5 days to build a city that is 433,000 with an average traffic flow currently at 86, 85, so it's fluctuating between 85 and 89% depending on, I would assume, those 3 cargo train stations, because when those 3 cargo train stations, when all the trains arrive at the same time, they do negatively impact the flow of traffic, as to be expected. Anyway, this is Sin, guys, signing out for now. Thanks again. Alright, take care, guys. Bye.